I think we can all agree Playboi Carti has had a huge hold on fashion within the last few years, and I want to talk about his journey and his evolution. And he was just doing his thing, but then again, it was 2012. Next, we have the Pray For Me music video, which I think came out in 2014. If I'm wrong, I don't know, but I know it's re-uploaded on YouTube. You'd see him wearing a baggy vintage Tommy Hilfiger long sleeve with skinny blue jeans and some Jordan 1s, which showed he was on his way to becoming one of those streetwear fiends, like we all were at one point. The earliest recollection we have of Carti was the Sir Cartier Steez music video, and this really didn't look like he cared about his fashion. He just had a trucker hat, a tie-dye tee. 2015 is definitely where Carti's career changed as a whole, music-wise and fashion-wise. He would have the Fetty music video with Dash and Maxo Cream, where he'd be seen wearing Palace and Supreme. At this time, Playboi Carti was wearing a rare Supreme piece, and Ian Connor reached out and they became friends because of it. Not to mention that Ian was already tied in with Kanye West and just had a lot of plugs. When Ian and Carti became friends, they became friends because of streetwear. Ian didn't even know that Carti made music. Carti would send Ian links to his music, but Ian would never listen until he stumbled across one of his songs and he realized that he had talent and started pushing him on all of his platforms. And at this time, Ian Connor had a lot of power. He had a lot of followers on Twitter, Instagram, and he was also tied in with ASAP Mob and a lot of other streetwear movements and fashion movements at this time.
My prior assistant, to who I have now, played this music, and Bar used to play Carti's music. I said, this the same Jordan? This the same Carti?
Since Ian and Carti were both around Atlanta, they would become really good friends, and Ian would get him in with ASAP Mob, and that would also be a good relationship with Carti and ASAP Bari. And this would also be when Playboi Carti Broke Boy came out, and we all know that this is a hit, and you could see him wearing Supreme and just living in that streetwear. And also the iconic scene of him getting top in the car. Come on, man, this is so good, so nostalgic. If you guys weren't around for the 2016 Hypebeast era, Supreme, Bape, Palace, Antisocial, Social Club, all these brands were coming up that a lot of famous rappers were wearing, and you'd see Carti wearing Supreme in almost all of his pictures in 2016. Everybody now is wearing Rick Owens, but at this time it was all Bape, Supreme, and Antisocial Club and Palace. And Playboi Carti was definitely becoming a mainstream artist, getting with these big features and just doing his thing. And at the end of 2015, Rich the Kid dropped Plug with Kodak and Playboi Carti, and you'd see Playboi Carti wearing Palace. I love this music video so much, and you could see how the streetwear scene was then. If we look at some of Carti's outfits at this time, you'd see a lot of Supreme and a lot of Jordan 1s, and at the time that was the original staple, and that was also what ASAP Mob was wearing. And at the time, Jordan 1s weren't even this popularized yet. And keep in mind, at this time, I think Ian Connor is still styling him. There's no proof, but I think him and Ian being best friends and Ian being so tapped in, he definitely helped him out with his outfits along the way. In this photo, you could see Playboi Carti wearing the iconic CDG Supreme BOGO hoodie. In this fit, he's wearing a Stone Island pullover with blue skinny jeans and Jordan white cements. And most of his outfits would continue to look like this, with a streetwear top, some nice jeans, and some Jordans on feet. And also, since Carti would be wearing a lot of rare pieces, that would bring in new cult followers that would not only be looking at his music as an essential key to him, but also his fashion, because still at this time Supreme is one of the biggest brands. He would also be closer with ASAP Bari, and this was his V-Lone phase where he was modeling for a lot of V-Lone campaigns, and also the legendary What video with him and Uno the Activist when they were still friends. They were all caught wearing V-Lone. I remember being in high school and I'd go on the app every morning and try and cop something, but I'd never hit, bro. Never. With Carti also getting closer with the ASAP Mob, and also ASAP Mob put Carti on a lot. I mean a lot. That's how him and Uzi became really good friends, and they were both V-Lone thugs. It was just a good year for Carti, and not to mention he also got on XXL. Carti not really ditched the streetwear, but definitely was wearing more high fashion at this point in time, but I also feel like his career was doing so well that he could afford this, and that's why part of his outfits changed. It had to happen at some point. And to end off this year of 2016, he also got his own V-Lone collab. 2017 would be a huge year for Carti, where he launched self-titled. There is a lot of hood classics on there. We got Location, Woke Up Like This. You could see Playboi Carti at Jimmy Kimmel, and he definitely had a different aesthetic going for him. He had tight jeans with Doc Martens and a crop top. But I think this photo definitely represents his change as a whole in fashion, when you'd see him in the cropped RAF knit and also just this grunge type of style. But he was wearing more expensive things at this time, but I feel like it was because he could afford it. Also, Ray's Corrupted Mind took a picture of Carti in 2017 wearing the Raf Simons father's parka. And in 2017, I feel like it was one of the most drastic changes in his style besides the Whole Lotta Red factor, which we will definitely get to. And I definitely think the ASAP Mob and Carti kind of both evolved their styles together, with ASAP Rocky making a lot of songs about Raf and Carti wearing Raf. It just kind of makes sense. I think we can all agree that 2017 for Playboi Carti was a huge year, with his first project dropping being on XXL and also having great songs with big features. But Playboi Carti walked that Louis Vuitton runway, which was crazy because a lot of fashion people were there and witnessed Carti. And in 2018, Playboi Carti also dropped Die Lit, which was definitely a fan favorite from a lot of people. Even till this day, people love Die Lit, and it was a huge turning point for Carti once again. In 2018, Louis Vuitton had his first runway with Virgil, which was a big thing because at the time Off-White was already hyped up and Virgil was a legend to everybody. RIP to Virgil. He did so much and he was a great guy. And what I think is interesting is at this time he was modeling for Off-White. He also modeled for Off-White in 2019 and was definitely in that high fashion scene. But in Die Lit, he had the Jordan 1s on the cover, and I think that still shows love to the streetwear, but he was still evolving. The Whole Lotta Red era is where everything changed for Carti musically and fashion-wise. So that can definitely show why he was wearing a lot of Rick Owens. And at this time, we'd see Carti's Rick fits and the crazy aesthetic that he brought along with it. And at this time, I don't think Carti was dressing for anyone else but himself, which I think is really cool, and you could definitely see it. Carti definitely changed his whole aesthetic with only rocking Rick Owens, Raf, and Alix, and some Givenchy. Some sources also show that there was a lady named Paris House who used to work at Barney's, but after she left Barney's, she started working at Rick Owens in New York and plugged Carti with a lot of exclusive pieces. Because I remember every time Carti would be posting an Instagram post around the Whole Lotta Red era, it would damn near break the internet because he was just being so different. But at this time, I also think Matthew Williams, the owner of Givenchy, was helping style him because he also produced Whole Lotta Red. In 2020, Playboi Carti dyed his hair red, which we all knew Whole Lotta Red was on its way. He also did a shoot with GQ in 2020 with his red hair, wearing Raf, Rick Owens, Issa Miyake, and a lot of other high fashion brands. I think we can definitely compare Carti and Tyler the Creator together. When they drop new projects, they have a new aesthetic, with Tyler with Flower Boy and Tyler with Igor, and definitely Carti with Die Lit and Carti with Whole Lotta Red. And sources stated in this GQ shoot, all the pieces that he wore were his own pieces. Even though he may have had a stylist behind of what pieces to wear, they were all his. And I think Playboi Carti's change of aesthetic was literally perfect for the rollout of Whole Lotta Red because his style literally matched the music that he was about to drop. So that just means that was literally his aesthetic. In Playboi Carti's song Control, they had a clip of DJ Academic saying that Kanye and Matthew Williams were producing Whole Lotta Red, and this actually came out before the album when Academics was talking about it. And I kind of look at this like Playboi Carti is the younger ASAP Mob to this generation, or is trying to build an ASAP Mob for this generation. This was huge, and this basically just shows that Matthew Williams probably played a huge part in styling Carti, because not only does he have Givenchy, he also works with the Leaks. And now to present future, Playboi Carti has Opium with Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson. I hope you guys enjoyed Carti's fashion evolution and how he has inspired the youth, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.